Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. I'm going to admit it, right now. Not only is this story shocking and crazy, I've never, ever heard of this happening before. And it's going to draw a lot of questions and a lot of concerns. But wow, I've never heard of this, where you see a crew member actually attacking passengers and stabbing them. As you can tell, just by my opening, I'm a little shocked at this story. It happens with Norwegian Cruise Line on a sailing heading down from Seattle into Alaska. And it started off with a gentleman on board from Africa who is a brand new crew member. He literally only has been on the ship 2 days when on the 6th of May, just a couple days ago, he was spotted by other crew members trying to lower the lifeboats, one of the lifeboats, for no apparent reason. It wasn't a test going on. There was nobody else around. They weren't checking anything, but looks like he was trying to lower one of the lifeboats. And they contacted security, and the security brought him down to medical for a mental and physical evaluation by the doctors. Apparently they didn't realize just what was going on in this person's head, because he literally attacked a security guard and a male nurse inside that medical examination room, and then broke out of that examination room, and in the next room was a 75-year-old woman who was there on an unrelated issue, obviously, where he proceeded to attack her with a pair of scissors, stabbing her in the arm, back, and head in the attack. Again, 2 other security officers then intervene, and they themselves were also stabbed in other areas. But thankfully, in this situation, none of the people who were attacked have life-threatening injuries. Still, thank God he couldn't get a hold of anything larger than a pair of scissors. And when they say pair of scissors, I'm thinking they're like the bandage scissors that you would see in a medical exam, cutting a bandage and putting it on. They're not big scissors like this, they're the scissors like that. Thankfully, he was subdued again and then locked up in their prison area, when they arrived in Juneau, the FBI took over, and the FBI have taken him into custody and are now investigating this whole situation. Obviously, there is something mentally wrong with this person. What kind of problems he has, we don't know, but that I'm sure is going to be one of the very first things they go and do, is a psych evaluation as well. If he is found guilty in this situation of assault, he has been charged with assault and attack with a deadly weapon, he can face up to 10 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. Those $250,000 fines are just numbers that they throw out, because obviously this person, if they're coming from Africa and they're getting a job on a cruise ship, they don't have $250,000. If they did, they probably wouldn't be working on a cruise ship. So yeah, those numbers are just really strange. But 10 years in prison, I can only imagine though, you head to the infirmary, you're not feeling well, you're waiting for the doctor to come in and examine you, and suddenly a crew member bursts into your examination room and starts attacking you. It must have been horrifically scary for this woman, and I guess the security did not realize just how this person was going to react, because they've been injured as well. Yeah, it of course will now draw out a lot of questions, because the crew member has only arrived for 2 days before this happened. And there will now be questions out there regarding hiring practices and, what is Norwegian Cruise Line do? How did this person slip through the cracks, if you will? Now remember, Norwegian Cruise Lines has thousands and thousands of employees. Cruise lines have hundreds of thousands of employees out there, if you count all the cruise lines out there. There's going to be the odd bad seed in every business, right? Go to anywhere you work. Go to a fire department. There's going to be a bad seed somewhere in a city of firemen. Go to the news industry. There's going to be a bad seed, somebody in the news industry. Go anywhere. There's going to be somebody who's not what they seem and kind of slips through the cracks. However, the person only lasted 2 days and obviously had some mental issues going on in this situation. And there will be questions drawn up. How did this person get that far and onto the cruise ship to all of a sudden in 2 days have this kind of incident happen? No word on the passengers or the other crew members as far as the extent of their injuries, other than to tell us that they were not life-threatening. They also have not released any names, obviously, to protect those people. They did bring out the gentleman who attacked people. I'm afraid I can't pronounce his name. I don't want to also bring out a name in this situation, because we don't know what's going on. We don't know why this happened. And so I'm just going to leave it at that. But wow, people are going to be asking these questions, but I've never ever heard of a crew member attack. I've heard yelling stories and I've heard fights break out. I've never heard of somebody, going crazy like this as far as trying to lower a lifeboat and then attacking crew members with scissors and fellow passengers and other passengers. I've never heard it. I've never seen it. And I challenge you to hear that as well. So does this bring up fears of sailing on a cruise ship? It doesn't. I'm sailing in less than 2 weeks. Doesn't make me second question whether or not. Some of my best friends out there are all crew members. So yeah, but man, shocking story. Absolutely shocking. I could not believe it as I'm reading this. And yeah, it happens with Norwegian Encore in Alaska. An absolutely wild incident. And I really hope that the lady, especially who was just going to the infirmary, 75 years old, I really hope those stabs to her are very, very minor, because I did hear she was stabbed in the face. And I hope it's like a scratch and not something much, much worse. I really hope she has a good recovery and a speedy recovery. Wow. Again, you just never know in this world, folks. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think this is a random incident? Do you think this is maybe something that Norwegian should have caught? Like I said, thousands of employees. Never heard this before. Is it because we're picking up and trying to get more staff on board because we have all these ships and we need to staff our people? Maybe we're cutting back on how we hire people. Is that a situation? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I'm sure those questions are going to be asked. And I bet some of those questions are going to come in the comments down below. Again, really scary. Well, I hope you do appreciate this news update. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel blogs from around the world, hopefully with much better, nicer, funner stories than this? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.